I never thought I'd see the day my own mother would betray me. But life has a strange way of testing how much you can take before you finally break. I grew up in what looked like a perfect family from the outside. A mother who smiled at church, a father who worked hard, and a younger sister who could do no wrong. Her name was Olivia. She was the golden child. The one my mom bragged about at every family gathering, while I, the quiet and practical one, was treated like a background character in my own home. When Dad passed away unexpectedly 3 years ago, everything changed. I stepped up to handle the bills, the funeral arrangements, and the emotional fallout. Mom fell apart completely, and Olivia. Well, Olivia grieved for a week, and then started posting inspirational quotes on Instagram about staying strong. I was the one who put my career on pause to take care of Mom. I cooked, I cleaned, I made sure she had her medication, and I helped her with the mortgage that Dad left behind. Over time, I built a small safety net for myself, about $40,000 in savings. It wasn't much, but it was mine. It came from years of budgeting, skipping vacations, and working overtime. I dreamed of one day owning a home, or starting my own small business. Then Olivia got engaged. Her fiancé, Brandon, came from old money. Their engagement announcement was like a movie premiere. Photo shoots, hashtags, champagne parties, the works. Mom was over the moon, calling it the fairy tale wedding our family deserves. Notice the word our. She spoke as if it were a collective dream, not Olivia's. I stayed supportive, though I knew where this was heading. The moment Olivia said the word wedding, I could almost hear Mom's brain calculating what I'd contribute. A few months later, Mom invited me over for dinner. I remember her acting unusually nice. She even made my favorite lasagna. Over the meal, she dropped it casually, like she was asking me to pass the salt. "Sweetheart," she said, "you know Olivia's wedding is going to be huge. And she's so stressed about the cost. You're doing well, aren't you? Maybe you could help a little." I swallowed hard. Help how? She smiled like a politician about to make a promise she wouldn't keep. Just a small contribution. Maybe $10,000? Think of it as a family gift. $10,000. I laughed, thinking she was joking. But when I saw the look on her face, the complete seriousness, my laughter died instantly. "Mom," I said carefully, "I love Olivia, but that's a ridiculous amount. I can't just throw away my savings for her party." She sighed dramatically, shaking her head. "It's not a party, it's her wedding. Don't be selfish. Olivia deserves this day." That word selfish hit me hard. I was the one who'd stayed after Dad died. The one who helped her through grief. And now I was selfish because I wouldn't fund my sister's luxury wedding? I refused. Politely but firmly. And that's when the cracks started to show. Mom grew distant. She stopped answering my calls, and Olivia sent passive-aggressive texts about family unity and supporting each other. Months passed, and I decided to focus on myself. I'd just been promoted and finally felt like my hard work was paying off. But then one morning, I opened my banking app, and my stomach dropped. My account was nearly empty. My savings gone. Every last dollar. I thought it was a mistake, maybe fraud. But then I saw the transfer details. Multiple payments made to a wedding planner, a designer boutique, and a catering company. Each transaction authorized under my name. I couldn't breathe. I called the bank in panic. They said the charges were made using my credit card details. The same card I'd left in Mom's house weeks earlier when I helped her order groceries online. My mother had stolen my information. I drove to her house in tears, my hands shaking on the wheel. When she opened the door, she looked startled but not guilty. That scared me more than anything. How calm she was. "Mom," I said, holding up the printed transactions. "What the hell is this? You drained my savings." She didn't deny it. Instead, she rolled her eyes and said, "Oh, don't be dramatic. It's for Olivia's wedding. You'll get over it." I couldn't believe it. "You stole from me." "It's not stealing," she snapped. "It's family money. You're her sister. You're supposed to help." Her voice was filled with anger, as if I was the one who betrayed her. I left that house shaking, realizing I didn't just lose money, I lost my family. For weeks, I tried to reason with her. I begged her to pay me back. She ignored every call. Eventually, I contacted the police, but they said since it was a family matter and the transactions were authorized under my name, it would be hard to prove theft. My mother had thought of everything. But what she didn't think of was what happens when the quiet, obedient daughter finally stops being quiet. Revenge didn't come to me instantly. It brewed slowly, like poison in my chest. I decided if Mom and Olivia cared only about image, I'd destroy that image. I started small. I created a new email under Olivia's name and reached out to some of her wedding vendors. The designer, the caterer, the planner. I politely inquired about payment confirmations and invoices. Turns out, despite the thousands Mom had spent, many vendors were still unpaid because Olivia had promised to settle later. That was my opportunity. I anonymously sent screenshots of the payment records, all in my name, to those vendors. I explained that the charges were unauthorized and that they should expect a fraud report soon. Panic spread like wildfire. The designer canceled the custom gown, the caterer withdrew services, and the venue demanded full payment up front or the date would be released. Within a week, Olivia's dream wedding began collapsing like a house of cards. But I wasn't done. I knew Olivia's fiancé Brandon had no idea how deep her family's drama ran. I created a fake account and sent him evidence, the transactions, the messages, and a voice recording I secretly had of Mom admitting she used my card for family. Brandon was shocked. Within days he confronted Olivia. They fought, loudly, publicly, and word spread quickly. Guests began whispering, vendors refused to work with her, and Mom's perfect fairy tale became a disaster everyone in our town was talking about. But the real moment of satisfaction came at the wedding rehearsal. I showed up, uninvited, in a simple black dress. The room went silent the moment I walked in. Mom's face drained of color. Olivia tried to glare at me, but looked more terrified than angry. "Why are you here?" Mom hissed. "To see what my $40,000 paid for," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. The crowd stirred. I could feel dozens of eyes on us. "You stole from me," I continued. "You used my savings to pay for this circus, and now you expect me to stay quiet? Everyone should know what kind of people you really are." Brandon looked at Olivia like she was a stranger. "Is this true?" he asked. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. The silence was enough. That night, the engagement was officially over. Brandon left, the vendors canceled everything, and Mom's dream of a grand wedding burned to ashes. Days later, I got a call from her. She screamed, cried, begged, said I ruined her and Olivia's reputation. I simply told her, "You ruined it yourself when you stole from me." Then I hung up and blocked her number. It took time, but slowly I rebuilt my life. I worked hard, saved again, and surrounded myself with people who valued me, not what I could give them. Mom and Olivia became social outcasts in our town. Everyone knew what happened. They moved away eventually, and honestly, I didn't care where. Sometimes people ask me if I regret it. If I regret destroying my sister's wedding, humiliating my mother, and cutting ties with my family. The truth is I don't. Because revenge wasn't about money or payback. It was about taking back my power. For years, I believed being the good daughter meant sacrificing myself for others. But that day, when I walked into that rehearsal and spoke the truth out loud, I realized something. Family doesn't give you the right to betray someone's trust. And forgiveness doesn't mean you have to stay silent. So yes, my mom drained my life savings to fund my sister's $50,000 wedding. But in the end, I took back everything she stole. Not in cash, but in dignity, peace, and freedom. And that, to me, was worth every penny.